Do you want to know something? I'm preoccupied with dying. Does that make sense to you?
Ric Flair and members of his family were dining at the Piesanos Stone Fired Pizza restaurant in Gainesville, Florida, when the wrestling legend was apparently asked to leave.
Yeah, good. Well, I didn't do anything wrong, except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you.
Why would it be bad for me?
Well, watch social media tomorrow.
I don't follow social media.
Well, you better.
I don't get stuck with my phone.
What's your name, job? Nicholas what?
Hold on.
Nicholas Dickhead.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
Don't ever talk.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
You don't have to do this to me. If you believe me and my family.
I'm not familiar.
I didn't do one thing wrong. I walked into a bathroom.
And you cussed at my kitchen manager.
Oh, you're a kid high cost. Really? What world do you live in?
The same world you
What
live
world
in.
do you live in? How did I cost him? Did I touch him?
Cuss him. You said cuss word.
I never said a cuss word. You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say one cuss word.
Okay.
God. No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him, kiss my ass. If you walk outside here,
You don't have to be disrespectful to me. So we're being
I know.
disrespectful
You're disrespecting me.
How am I disrespectful?
Telling me to leave.
I'm not telling you to leave, we're just telling you that you're cut off.
Oh, I'm cut off and I'm drunk? Really?
Yes, sir. You no matter if you're famous or not.
Here, ma'am, ma'am, please give yourself $1,000 tip. $1,000 tip. This guy and I are so cool. She and I are cool. And along comes dipshit.
You don't have to call me like that.
I said it.
I never did.
I'll say it again. You're a dipshit.
You have to get out of here right now.
Oh, I'm leaving. Trust me.
Thank God.
I won't come back again.
Thank God.
Come outside here and talk to me like a man.
I'm not going to do that because I'm on the clock.
You push you are. You're on the pussy clock.
You go outside if you want.
Stop.
Hey, you want to go out and talk with me in the parking lot? I don't work here. I don't give a shit. We'll talk tonight.
What's that?
You heard me.
What's that?
Please stop, okay?
What did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?
Flair then subsequently posted to his more than 2 million followers on social media about his experience at the restaurant, stating the following. I spent $1,500 at Piesanos Stone Fired Pizza to be disrespected more than I ever have in my entire life. After taking 20 pictures with customers and staff, I was asked to leave because of an issue I had with the kitchen manager taking too long in the bathroom. I would highly recommend that anyone who wants to enjoy a relaxing time in Gainesville at a nice restaurant to never visit this place. When asked about the incident, Piesanos co-owner Jerry Roberts stated the following. We have reviewed video of the incident that took place recently at our restaurant. It is clear our team worked in a professional manner to ensure the safety of guests and staff. We have thanked our team for their professionalism. We are proud of how they responded to the situation using and displaying our team values. This isn't the first time that the Nature Boy Ric Flair has been in a situation like this, because back in 2017, he was also thrown out of a bar in Fort Wayne, Indiana after hurling insults at a bartender.
A WWE Hall of Famer was asked to leave a Fort Wayne bar last night, and it lit up social media.
Ric Flair was kicked out of Don Hall's gas house.
This gentleman kind of said, "Hey, beautiful, are you married?" I have no idea who this guy is. He goes, "Can you get me drinks?" I said, "Absolutely." Got him drinks. I let the bartender know, and off I went.
A few minutes later, she was called back to the bar for a problem with a customer.
Lo and behold, it's this man.
The bartender tells us he asked Flair if he wanted a refill on his drink. When he turned to start making the new drink, Flair yelled at him, "Hey, dumb expletive, I want a new glass." The bartender then asked him to leave.
And during a radio interview, Ric Flair gave his version of the events that took place.
I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in Joplin, Fort Wayne, and the 400 autograph I signed
that I got paid a lot of money for. I asked what something was going on. I walked down to the deck. I'm glad it's in a sense to say this publicly. I walked down, I got called the hotel, and I go, where's there somewhere to go? And there's some bar called the deck. Rule number one, I walked in, said to the guy, will you please put on the golf tournament? It's only the Masters, right? He goes, what do you think this is, a sports bar? I said, I didn't say it was a sports bar. I asked you to put on the Masters. He goes, if I get a chance, right? So all of a sudden we're measuring. So then I only had one drink. I asked him for a drink. He takes my drink and goes over, throws the glass, the ice in the tank, right? And I go and starts pouring the same glass. I go, sir, doesn't a premium drink require a new glass? And he goes, you tell me how to bartend? I said, not if I have to, dumbass. But since you're asking, you're a dumbass. He walked over and said, are you a dumbass? Call me dumbass. I said, I can call you a fat ass. They both work.
See this? Who's going to go today? You're going to go.
Ric Flair's over here 1-0.
Lose some weight. Don't give me a shit.
Ric Flair is a name etched in the annals of professional wrestling history. His career has been marked by grandeur, championships, and an indomitable charisma that captivated audiences for generations. Yet, beyond the glittering lights of the squared circle lies a complex and at times controversial figure. And fans today strongly feel that there are several reasons why, for Ric Flair, despite his celebrated achievements, their sympathy for the Nature Boy remains elusive. From multiple ill-fated comebacks to personal controversies to harrowing legal issues, Flair's legacy is far from pristine. And unfortunately, despite his many achievements in wrestling, his real-life exploits have left a sour taste in the fans' mouths.
And in social media, the guys don't go out anymore. That just changed. I would have never survived this.
Right.
This current climate?
This current climate, no. I couldn't. I have a hard time doing it right now at 74. Lay low.
Flair's in-ring legacy is marred by a series of regrettable decisions and controversial actions, where the first point of concern is his repeated comebacks from retirement, which often resulted in subpar performances. Wrestling fans were baffled when Flair wrestled at the age of 73 in an event billed as Ric Flair's last match, where during the tag team match he appeared to be a shadow of his former self, struggling to move and putting on a performance far below his legendary standards.
Oh yeah, I was fighting like hell to get through it.
It was hard for me to watch it. Ric Flair, it didn't seem like he was, maybe laboring, coming into the match.
Flair's questionable behavior, as mentioned, has also extended beyond the squared circle, where his propensity for criticizing fellow wrestlers for seemingly trivial reasons did not endear him to his peers or his fans. An example of this was when he tried to shame Becky Lynch for using the moniker The Man without his permission, even threatening legal action against the WWE.
I have no beef with Becky, but here's the deal. When I almost died 2 years ago, one person stayed by me. The whole time, 31 days in ICU, 12 days while I was dying on a respirator, and I'm gonna take care of her and her family and my family that has taken care of me, no matter what. I don't care what the WWE thinks of me personally. I know they love me, right, but obviously they've lost respect for me. If I don't win, and even if I won, Becky can have it all day long.
So
I'm glad.
You'll let her.
Yeah, but I want the company to pay me for it, because I'm gonna take care of my family.
Flair has also had disputes with other wrestling legends such as Mick Foley, where in his autobiography he stated that he is a glorified stuntman and not a real wrestler.
To me, a great wrestler, and of course he likes to think of himself as great, is a guy that can do anything, okay? He couldn't wrestle an hour if he had 5 oxygen tanks on his back. He's not in shape.
Right.
He's not an athlete.
Flair also had engaged in heated exchanges with legends like Bret Hart, who he accused of not being a money draw.
Stars are successful at every level. They draw big money in our business, right? or they don't. They draw big quarter hours or they don't. Believe me, if he had been drawing money, Vince would have never said adios. I did wrestle against Bruiser Brody, Dick the Bruiser, Bubba, Antonio Inoki, Dory, Terry, Jack, Harley. Where's Bret in that equation? The greatest performers of all time. I've wrestled all of them and been sold out every night, from St. Louis to Dallas to Charlotte to Chicago. He lived up there in New York and never came out of New York. And when he was a champion, if he was drawing big money, it wasn't reflective in the ratings.
Flair also accused Bret Hart of using his brother Owen Hart's death to further exploit the Montreal Screwjob.
When Owen died, which is a tragedy unto itself, any human death at any level, it is a tragedy unto itself. It shouldn't be confused with what the guy was doing for a living. It shouldn't be confused with how it happened. It's a tragedy of death. And of course, because we're under the magnifying glass, because it's wrestling, because he's an athlete, and because of the circumstances, it became bigger than life. But it was a tragedy. Nobody wanted that to happen. Nobody ever dreamed in their wildest dreams that he was a wonderful, wonderful young guy, great guy. But the minute it happened, man, up came Montreal again. I can document that for you if you want me to. I'll send you an email showing you that. It was a 3-page quote from Bret, and somebody sent me the day after Owen died. Owen's name was mentioned one time.
Furthermore, Ric Flair also had heat with fellow wrestlers such as the late Ole Anderson, Dusty Rhodes, Sid Vicious, and Sabu. And these disputes only served to alienate him from his contemporaries and also tarnish the reputation that he had built over the years.
No, if the bastard would die right now, I'd be pissed, but only because he died right now. I want him to die slow.
Why is that?
I hate the bastard. He lies about everything he does. He's owed me money for years. He'll always owe me money. I used to give him money all the damn time. He's the only guy that could have $1 and spend $200.
He's the ultimate flam man. Hey brother, I love you, man. You know what I mean? Knowing deep in his heart, he don't give a shit about you. He gives a shit about himself. That's fucking shoot. He cares about himself more than anything else.
Let's just say this. Who really is the bigger embarrassment in this business? And that's all I'll say. Is it someone who, like me, has only had really only one, thing over my head that was really not my fault, or him who's had a cast of stupid things he's done his whole life?
I respected his wrestling. I didn't respect him as a human. I thought he was a dirty prick. And I've seen things and I heard even worse things about him. I know a story where, I'm not gonna give no names because there's some people I care about. But anyways, they were rooming next to each other, 2 girls, and the girl next door sounded like they were wrestling all night. And in the morning, she came over to the other room and said, I got to go. It sounded like you guys were playing. He goes, no, the guy wouldn't leave until I fucked him. It's one of the wrestlers. He would not leave her alone, leave her room until she put out, sit in front of the door, hours and hours. She gave in, so he didn't beat her ass, or he just, stayed there until she did. That's terrible. The person in the room told the office, and they said, shh, we like that guy. Don't tell anybody. And they ended up firing the person that I was talking about.
The girl, the woman. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's life outside the ring has also been nothing short of a tumultuous roller coaster. With 5 marriages to his name, his personal affairs have been riddled with allegations and disputes that only serve to muddy his reputation even further.
Hey, little girl in the high school sweater.
One notably unsettling alleged incident revolved around a family altercation where Flair's late son, Reed Flair, pushed his mother out of an elevator, breaking her arm, resulting in Flair's excessive reaction by beating him up and passing out in the process, leaving an uncomfortable family dynamic in its wake. Additionally, Flair's 4th ex-wife, Jackie Beams, accused him of infidelity during their marriage and later of neglecting his alimony obligations after their divorce, accusations to which Flair either remained silent or attempted to refute, as Jackie herself was quite controversial.
I officially retired in 2008. I should have stayed retired, but
I was paying alimony to 3 different women, so I had to go back to work. $2 million in alimony and $2 million in attorney fees.
But perhaps the darkest chapter in Flair's personal life is the notorious plane ride from hell incident in 2002, during which accusations of indecent exposure and sexual assault were leveled against him by 2 flight attendants. And despite Flair's vehement denial and subsequent out-of-court settlement, the claims of it being accurate by several other wrestling personalities continue to cast a long shadow on his legacy.
I was in the galley. The galley is where our little kitchen area on an airplane. Ric Flair was naked in a cape only, and then he decided to come back to the galley to get a Coke. And then he wouldn't leave the galley. He had me up back against the back door, and I couldn't move. I couldn't get away from him. I couldn't move. He was spinning around his penis, and he wanted me to touch it, and he took my hand and put it on him.
Yeah, when you heard what he did on that airplane, I'm shocked. I've heard, but I didn't really hear in that much detail. And plus, I don't listen to those stories that too much in detail because I know how they're exaggerated. But that story wasn't exaggerated even a little bit, and I'm offended by it.
There was also an incident back in 2016 when Ric Flair claimed to have slept with several celebrities, including Halle Berry.
Wrestling legend Ric Flair is claiming that he slept with Oscar-winning actress Halle Berry. On his radio program, The Ric Flair Show, the Nature Boy brags that Berry allegedly took a ride on Space Mountain.
Any celebrity riders of Space Mountain? Are we going to get any names
today? You want me to start with Halle Berry or what?
Oh, Halle Berry rode Space Mountain.
Of course she did.
Okay.
She was in Atlanta, and she just got divorced from Dave Justice.
Wait, are you telling a real story right now?
Would I have to make up a lie?
Halle Berry has subsequently denied this while also stating that she's never heard of him.
Can I say it for real?
Yeah.
I was like, what the happening?
Ric Flair's entanglements with the law have also added another layer to the complex tapestry of his life, as he has faced a series of legal challenges that have raised questions about his judgment and behavior, with one notable incident involving a case of road rage in which Flair was accused of assaulting a motorist and damaging the individual's vehicle, which subsequently led to legal authorities charging him with misdemeanors, creating a further blot on his public image.
I may have just pushed him or something, but about a week later I got a call from the police department. They said, Rick is ordered for your arrest.
In May 2011, Flair was held in contempt of court and faced up to 90 days in jail after he failed to make good on a financial agreement which he entered when he put up one of his old NWA title belts in order to get a loan. This all originated after Flair failed to repay a loan of $35,000 to High Spots Incorporated, a wrestling merchandising company. And as an alternative to repayment, Flair could give the company the NWA title he used as collateral for the loan. However, High Spots later said on social media that someone stepped in and paid Flair's debt. Ric Flair has also had his fair share of health problems, where back in 2017 he suffered a totally ruptured intestine, total kidney failure, which became septic with his body trying to fight off the infection, and this ultimately led to respiratory heart failure and pneumonia, forcing doctors to place Flair in a medically induced coma.
And if that goes on long enough, then it causes a cascade of problems: hypovolemic shock, sepsis, multi-organ failure, all of which Mr. Flair had. And he was in renal failure. He had a complete heart block. He had multiple electrolyte abnormalities, and he was in a significant confusional state.
Flair would spend a month in hospital before finally being discharged. However, doctors agreed that Flair's excessive drinking over the years was the major cause of all his health problems.
First beer, then booze, then beer, then booze, then what else? Jägermeister, tequila.
Despite all of this, Ric Flair has become somewhat of a pop culture icon, appearing in a rap video as well as NFL teams using his catchphrases to psych themselves up in the locker rooms.
Rolex wearing, woo! Diamond ring wearing, woo! Kiss stealing, woo! Wheeling dealing, woo!
Icon also teamed up with Karma Holdings in 2023, which is the parent company of former professional boxer Mike Tyson's premier cannabis line, Tyson 2.0, to launch his own line of cannabis called Ric Flair Drip.
There's a new cannabis line that will make you say, woo! Professional wrestling superstar Ric Flair launching Ric Flair Drip, like the song suggests, a personal line of marijuana products.
I like the buzz.
It's nice.
And the edibles absolutely work. I can vouch for that. Also, as far as the being out for people that have pain and so, it works.
Yeah.
It ain't Ben Gay. It's much better.
Despite having led and continuing to lead a highly controversial life, Ric Flair is still considered by many to be the absolute GOAT of professional wrestling. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.
Styling and profiling, limousine riding, probably private jet flying.
Aha!
Diamonds are forever. So is the nature boy.